Reistetter on Journey to Olympic Golf. I'm here at the Ponte Vedra Y with Jennifer Salles-Cunha, who has, well, quite an intimate knowledge of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil and that part of South America, and she's graciously shared a lot of that information with me today. But also, you have some ties to swimming in the Olympics, once having competed in trials to be an Olympic swimmer. It's pretty awesome. So tell me a little bit about your background as far as a competitive swimmer and what you do now.
Well, I started when I was about 7 and I trained until I was about 20. I went through all of the competitive swimming phases and ended up at trials. Unfortunately, didn't make the team. But that was back in '68 trials. And
which was that? Was that Munich?
Yes. Well, Munich. Yes, the trials were in LA, but
right,
the Olympics were in Munich.
Okay. Seem to be a kind of Olympic expert now these days.
Well, and then I became a coach, and I did coach a young man named Anthony Irvin, who won a gold medal at the Sydney Olympics. So, and I coached in California. I had a team, very high ranked. My son actually went to Stanford University on a swim scholarship.
At the time of Tiger Woods?
Yes.
We're golfers too.
Same class. And so I had a lot of swimmers that got college scholarships. And so I'm very familiar with what you need to do as a swimmer to get to the Olympics.
Cool. Yeah, it's interesting. Golfers tend to stay away from the water, but swimmers like water. Is that correct?
Some swimmers are not good on land. And they're good
not
in water.
Amphibious, huh? Well, I'm on this journey to Olympic golf, departing pretty soon on that. And part of that, it's part golf promotion, but part of that is also to define the Olympic spirit for golfers, to try to get a sense of what it's like to compete in the Olympics and prepare for the Olympics. Can you talk a little bit about, for a swimmer, what's it like, you know, years, months, and then at that moment of competition in the Olympics?
Well, it's a lifetime journey. So it starts when you're young as a swimmer. You need to have the technique, you need to have the base, the aerobic base, you need to have the anaerobic systems. Everything has to be progressing. And then you go from one level to another. You know, so they're like in golf, you'll have your different levels. You'll go to junior nationals, then senior nationals, then trials. Then you pray, because Olympic trials are one day. If you are sick and you get 3rd place, you don't make it to the Olympics. So even if you're a world record holder. So you have to be on that day at Olympic trials. If you make the team in the world of swimming, it is heaven. It's the epitome. There's nothing better. You can even go to Worlds all the time. It's just not the same, because you have all of the different countries. You have the fanfare, you have the camaraderie, you have you know, that spirit that is just for the Olympics. It's amazing.
Awesome. So it's that day of the competition. How does an Olympic athlete prepare themselves physically, emotionally, spiritually, to have the best performance of their life at that moment in time? How do they not focus on the outcome, but focus on the process? What's it going to be like for...
Once you're that level, you're already pretty used to, for example, most of the time in swimming, the Olympic trials are harder than the actual Olympics. Because you got to remember, you're going to have other countries represented that maybe don't have that same level of competition that our whole country has. So a lot of times it's not even as difficult, but they still are so emotional. They want to do a world record, you know, make a world record, or they want to make sure they get that gold for the country. So it's always exciting. It's always you have to stay calm, you have to stay loose. If you ever see swimmers, they're always juggling around. So you have to stay loose, but you still have to get that adrenaline going.
Well, it's interesting. There's this guy I've seen at golf tournaments recently Michael Phelps, and I think he was
Oh,
a pretty good swimmer, right?
A little bit.
Jennifer, I want to thank you very much for sharing your insight.
You're welcome.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you on the golf course someday.
I want to have a very wonderful trip to Brazil. You're going to love Rio.
Thank you. Again, this is Andy Reistetter signing off on the journey to Olympic golf. Thanks for listening.